Welcome to KetoMealsAndRecipes.com. Today I'm going to make a streamlined video to show you how easy it is to make my version of a keto, sugar-free, gluten-free cranberry cream cheese muffin. Let me tell you a little bit about this muffin. I really like this muffin because it's nice and dense and is a great quick breakfast when you're really busy, on the go, or just need a change and want something a little bit different, and delicious and treaty. And I also have a lot of cranberries on hand and I want to use them up. The macronutrient ratio for each cranberry cream cheese muffin is 2.9 to 1, with 8.5 grams of total carbs, 2.2 grams of dietary fiber, and 0.9 grams of insoluble fiber, resulting in 5.4 grams of net carbs per cranberry muffin. These muffins are very easy to make and take very little prep time. So begin by preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or approximately 177 degrees Celsius, or as close as you can get to that with your oven. By the way, as I make my muffins, I will provide suggestions for substitutions for some of the ingredients, so please watch the entire video. It really helps the YouTube algorithm to take notice of my video. Because I want to make these cranberry muffins look very festive, since it's almost Christmas, I'm going to place the 12 red paper cups into the muffin pan and then set the pan aside for a moment. I also weigh out and gather all my ingredients. Next, to the stand mixer, first add the soft butter and then the room temperature cream cheese. I would suggest that you use a paddle attachment, as it'll be easier on your mixer. Then beat at medium speed until both of these ingredients are well combined. The next I'm going to add is my sweetener, which I ground to a confectioner powder, as well as my freshly squeezed lemon juice. But if you don't have fresh lemon juice or want a substitute, you could either use lemon extract or vanilla extract. Then continue beating until all the ingredients are well combined. Whenever I add eggs, I like to give them a quick whisk and then pour in approximately 1 egg worth at a time. And then beat after each addition so that the eggs can better incorporate into the butter mixture. Then before adding my dry ingredients, I do like to sift them first. So to my fine mesh sieve, I'm going to add my almond flour. The next thing you add is either lupin flour or coconut flour, not both. And add your baking powder, your finely ground salt. And the reason I like to sift all my ingredients before using them is because it helps to break up the clumps in the nut or seed flours and creates a better texture overall when I'm baking. Then after sifting, then add half a cup at a time until all your dry ingredients have been added to the butter mixture. Then continue beating at low speed until everything is well combined. Don't overmix. Then lift up your paddle attachment and remove it, and toss in your dry or frozen cranberries and fold everything to combine. Today I'm going to use my dry cranberries, but I really like this recipe with frozen cranberries. When I'm baking the frozen cranberries in this batter, they plump up and make the entire muffin really nice and juicy. But use whichever, frozen or dried cranberries, whichever you have on hand. It'll taste delicious either way. And if you don't want to use cranberries or it's a different season, you can also use either dry or frozen blueberries, strawberries, or raspberries. Any of these other berries change the flavor, but it tastes really good with the base batter. Now, when your batter is ready, just evenly divide the batter into the 12 muffin tins. You can use a spoon, or as I'm using my ice cream scoop, which is about 1 tablespoon. I find that by using a scoop like this, I can more evenly distribute the batter between the 12 cups. And when you're done this step, place the muffin tin in the middle position of your preheated oven and set the timer for 20 minutes, at which point take a toothpick and stick it into the center of the muffin, and if it comes out dry, your muffins are done. If not, give it 5 more minutes, no more than that. You want these muffins to remain a light golden brown on top. Now that I've removed the muffins from the oven, I'm going to let them cool 5 minutes in the pan and then transfer them onto my cooling rack. One of the really nice things about baking is that the entire kitchen, in fact my entire house, smells really amazing. These muffins are now ready to go, and you can eat them nice and warm or let them cool to room temperature. And if you have leftover muffins, place them in an airtight container and put them in your refrigerator. These muffins will last in your fridge for several days. And if you like my recipes and want to support my channel, I'd really be honored if you would subscribe. But please turn on your notification bell and scroll down to all. Otherwise, the YouTube algorithm will probably not notify you. And also, if you do like this recipe, give it a like and leave me a comment. I just love hearing from you. The link for this formatted and printable written recipe is posted in the description box below. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video, and please come back when I post my next one. And I hope you'll enjoy this recipe during the holidays or any time of the year. Have a very happy and healthy day. Cheers!